June 30th, 2023 was by all means a very celebratory day for fans of Lil Uzi Vert as he finally released his long-awaited, what was supposed to be a mixtape now turned into album, Pink Tape. But what kept Uzi from releasing this album later in the same year that he announced it, which was several years ago? Today we'll be covering Pink Tape, an album that made fans of Lil Uzi Vert more than ecstatic with its long-awaited release, and they were happy that the album had the same sound that made Uzi popular, but a bit more developed, more experimental, some would say. And there are different varying sounds that this wasn't just another Uzi album. Uzi fans have been accustomed to waiting very patiently for new records, or new albums, I should say, for quite some time. People had to wait years for Eternal to Take, and then now years for Pink Tape. But some wonder, why did Uzi wait so long for Pink Tape? Considering the fact that he could just drop multiple songs whenever he wants. At least that's what Uzi's producer, Lyle LaDuff, said. He records 5 songs a day for the most part. Bruh still gets better and better. It's hard to scale down 1,500 plus songs to an album. Lil Uzi Vert announced that he had the idea of a future project for the first time during a lengthy Instagram live broadcast in December of 2020, right after he released Pluto x Baby Pluto with Future, which we're not really counting as an Uzi album. It's more of a dual project. Right from the start of 2021, Uzi made a few tweets full of speculations about who might be featured on the album. Among the most recognizable names were Travis Scott, Grimes, and Charlie Heat. Then, on January 30th, Uzi shocked the fans with a slight change to his appearance by embedding a supposed $24 million flawless pink diamond in the middle of his forehead. I've been paying for a natural pink diamond for Elliot for years now. This one stone costs so much, I've been paying for it since 2017. That was the first time I saw a real natural pink diamond. A lot of M's in my face. In the summer of 2021, Lil Uzi continued to tease fans with hints about the new album by tweeting out Pink Tape and publishing the post via Instagram with the same content. From that point, millions of his fans became aware that this was the title of the next project, which they hoped to hear soon. But in the following tweets, Lil Uzi added a bit of confusion to the mix as he posted the story via Instagram with the words Delta Pink, which might have been the name of a new album. Then Uzi posted something about the project called The Real Uzi 2. A month later, while being on the red carpet at Jay-Z's 40/40 Club, Uzi said that he was in the middle of the mixing process of Pink Tape. Last time I dropped an album, it did really well. It was actually my highest selling album, but it was a little bit experimental on the mixing part, not the actual music. So this time I went experimental with the music and traditional on the mixing. Uzi added that he felt really good about Pink Tape and provided some details about the tracklist. Mostly, Uzi said that the tracklist would have a mix of old and new songs, and that the album would be released only on SoundCloud. Among the tracks, we might see some of the solo records, such as Space Cadet and Neck on Froze, feature records such as Sauce with Playboi Carti, and All Painted with Drake. In September, in one of the Instagram live streams, Uzi gave a chance for fans to hear some snippets of collaboration between him and Drake. In the beginning of October, fans started to wonder whether they would see a release of, at this point, a mixtape, since he said he would only release it on SoundCloud. No, it's not, Uzi said. Then it drops next week, and then it sounds like trash, and I gotta hear it from, well, not from you, but I gotta hear it from 100,000 people on the internet saying this sucks. So you gotta let me take my time. I'm taking my time so it won't suck. Despite the answer that fans received not being a positive one for any time soon, Lil Uzi reassured that the next project, Pink Tape, was definitely worth the wait. And he teased again that he might release the project before Halloween. But time passed, and the album was still nowhere to be seen. Fans were expecting some explanations, which Uzi provided by saying that he focused on making the album perfect. Then, on December 2nd, 2021 still, in the live stream with Kai Cenat, Uzi confirmed that the album would be ready that same night. But it didn't happen. Since that time, no one has really heard a word about the exact date when the album would be released until now. However, Uzi understood that he needed to keep communicating with his fans so that they would continue to be excited for the album. So Lil Uzi used social media a lot and dropped snippets of the songs from time to time. The next time we heard from Uzi again was on February 2nd, 2022, or 2222, when he tweeted a snippet of his song and teased that it may be one from the upcoming album. The piece sounded a lot like one of the earlier Uzi songs, with notes of emo/punk-ish rap. Fans were happy to hear from Uzi again, and begged him to release the album sooner. At one point, even Uzi's producer, Lil, joined the discussion with the fans, explaining why there were so many delays. One of the fans wrote, "Lil, bruh, why is Uzi cannot give us Pink Tape yet? Are the songs for real not that good right now?" To which the producer responded, "Songs are great, but they want to make sure it's right and not rush it." Which he continued, "We all know y'all ready for it, but we want to make sure it's a classic and not just a bunch of random songs." When engaged in conversation with another fan, he said that Uzi's been very busy producing new content non-stop, and it's not exactly easy to choose a limited amount of songs from the 1,500 plus tracks, which they said many of them were very good. Then Don Cannon, who's co-owner of Uzi's label, said that Uzi had made more than 680 songs for this project and did it while being completely sober. Sober, high, when he used to get high, and now he's sober doing them. Ain't nothing changed. So he was one of those guys. And it's different because we're getting all kinds of songs out of him. Might get a rock song, a real rap song, because he really raps. Might get the melodic stuff that he does. That's a fun thing. Uzi shared his side of the new experience of making the album while being completely sober. It was challenging at first, but then after probably a month, I got used to it. I thought that my creative process wasn't going to be the same because I wasn't on drugs anymore. It was the same, even better, because I could think more clearly, and I could actually, instead of my words slurring, which is kind of cool, everything made sense. I didn't just make random music. How can I say, I didn't play off the beat. I actually made songs with topics this time. While being at Rolling Loud, Los Angeles, Uzi revealed an update on the progress of Pink Tape. "I do make y'all wait a long time for music, and I'm so sorry. I thought that stuff was cool before, but that stuff is lame. I'm putting the finishing touches on Pink Tape, and I promise, and I made a lot of promises in my life, but this time, I promise." It may sound like Uzi did a lot of talking and giving promises, which he did, evidently recording lots of material from which fans only got snippets, but there was more to the picture. While working on Pink Tape, it consumed a lot of time and creative potential from Uzi. He was busy releasing singles, taking part in various collaborations as features, and guest appearances. So, what he decided to do was the Red and White EP, which was released in July of 2022, first appearing just on SoundCloud, and was later added to streaming platforms. This EP gave fans a chance to taste some of that old Uzi and pretty much just be a teaser for the Pink Tape, Red and White coming together making pink, to hold them over until it came out. The most successful single in the past couple of years in the lead up to Pink Tape was none other than Just Wanna Rock, which peaked at the Billboard Hot 100 at number 10. Additionally, this track became the biggest hip-hop song on TikTok in 2022, multi-platinum, and eventually ending up on Pink Tape. Also, Uzi took part in recording on the soundtrack for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse with many other rappers. But in early March of 2022, a graphic artist working for Uzi revealed the cover art for the album via social media. We saw the ash-black background with the word pink written in bubblegum pink on top of it. For a year-long time, fans believed that this cover would be the final one. But in mid-June of 2023, when it was announced that it would release at the end of June, Lil Uzi Vert changed his profile picture on Instagram, and speculation arose that it might be a new album cover. In the picture, Lil Uzi sat on the American flag and was surrounded by a group of lying Korean or Japanese kids. The whole scene resembled the crown of the Statue of Liberty or the sun. Later in June, another possible album cover was revealed. On the front cover, we can see Uzi standing with his back to the viewer in the middle with an apocalyptic scene. The American flag sticks out from the pocket of his jeans with pink stripes and stars on it. There's a big and creepy diamond pink eye that adds a bit of eeriness to the scene. It became evident that this cover was the official alternate cover for the digital album. But on the 26th of June, the world saw the final cover of Pink Tape, and it appeared on Apple Music, the official Uzi store, and Uzi's profile picture on Instagram. It was a photo taken by Kenneth Capello, a widely known photographer, and directed by John Ross. In the photo, we see a big American flag and Lil Uzi in front of it, with the stars on the flag turned upside down and the color of the stripes changed to pink. The back cover of the album shows a white background, and Lil Uzi is standing with his back to the viewer in a pose similar to the front cover of the album. From the majority of Uzi fans, it seems like Pink Tape was everything that they expected, if not more. There have been people saying that it's his best album, which, while I may not necessarily agree with that, given that I haven't completely listened to the full album yet, which I likely will do after this. It's important to note that commercial-wise, it's having great success. It's supposed to debut at #1 on the Billboard Hot 200 charts for the albums, which should be the first hip-hop album this year to make it to #1. I don't even believe Gunna or Young Thug's albums have made it to #1 yet. And also, just from the feedback, there are fans that said it wasn't great. There are fans that absolutely loved it, but I don't really see fans that say it sucks or it's trash. So taking his time definitely worked on a commercial aspect. It definitely worked for a musical aspect, at least from the fans, because nobody was saying that Eternal Atake was Uzi's best album. And I'm seeing that a lot with this one. And people are also saying that they're hearing new sounds from Uzi, which is something that people have always wanted, but they still wanted the elements of the old Uzi, which is something that they would always complain about. But you and I, and even Uzi knows that he can't just make the same music from 7 years ago. That's long since passed, and it would just show that there's been zero growth in his music or character since then. Make sure to subscribe for more.